I haven't done my makeup in forever, which has been really nice. I feel like it's been really good for my mental health to not do my makeup all the time. I've been really working on not caring about being objectified because I feel like I only look beautiful when I have makeup on. I'm kind of pretty without makeup on, not as beautiful without it on. And that's it used to be my shield a lot, especially in my 20s. And then I had my daughter. It's not really a shield as much anymore, but, oh, hi, welcome. Thanks for watching. Yeah, it used to be a shield, my makeup, but now I barely wear it because I'm focusing on making and other crap. I'm making it's a fantasy romance erotic book. It's been fun. My cat is in the way. Billy! Ugh, sorry, kid. Let's see. If you want to know about my makeup, or you can ask me anything if you like. Yeah, anyways, I'm pretty happy with the fact that I'm more confident and I don't need makeup to be objectified and looked at and gawked at by men. I mean, it's still nice to be appreciated, but it's also just surface and it doesn't matter that much, or shouldn't matter, ideally. Anyways, I'm using a combination of crap for foundation, if you guys care, or if you one viewer cares. Yes, I don't care, I don't know. I'm just doing my makeup while I'm chatting, so. Anyways, I've been doing a lot of growing, and that's been good. I feel like it's been really good. Concealer for my nose. See all that green? It's to combat the red that is natural on the sides of my nose. Oh, I messed up. Let's see what's going on in my life. Nothing really. I've been chilling, trying to eat food. Oh, I've been exercising, been running. I got one of those weighted vests. They're like 20 pounds, which is really heavy. I should have started with 10, but if you buy the adjustable one, it's really expensive. And then I just think I can handle 20. Let's see what's next. I'll do bronzer. Yeah, and I've been running with it, and I'm trying to do it I'm trying not to hurt my back because it's 20 pounds, so I'll run a little less today. And then I'm eating breakfast. I don't know. I like to bronze down here because I got a very round face. Look how crazy. Makeup will do everything for you. Or, plastic surgery. But I'm not going to go under the knife. Not just yet. I'm not Lindsay Lohan. She looks good. But she also makes it so that we are not good enough. And she was beautiful before plastic surgery, which makes me sad because she's like a role model. And I think she was so beautiful before. I mean, she looks stunning now, like drop dead gorgeous, but she's a role model. And I feel like celebrities have all this, they are put up to be gods or goddesses, perfect. And then we feel like we can aspire to be perfect too, but why do we all want to be perfect? It's too much pressure. I certainly don't want to be perfect anymore, and that's why I haven't been wearing a lot of makeup. I'm trying not to care. I feel like I used to think about what other people think of me way too much. Way too much. And I'm trying to grow out of that and realize that it's what's it called? There's this guy. He said something very impactful. I watch a lot of self-help. So much self-help crap. I'm like a junkie. But not the self-help crap that's like Tony Robbins about what's it called? Getting rich really quickly. It's always getting rich really quickly, or actual self-help, which is mental health and being enough as you are kind of thing. Anyway, so the guy was like, you'll be more happy if you focus on the version of yourself where you're me, you're an I. It's like, I feel like this. I want to do that. I am working on this, versus me is like, they're looking at me. What do they think of me? Am I disappointing them? And it's exhausting to think like that all the time. Anyway, so then sometimes I wore makeup because guys would look all disappointed if I didn't. And I'd be worried that I'm disappointing men, which is so silly. Because it's like, I don't owe you the work it takes to look beautiful all the time. Funny. But that's a hard lesson to learn too. I mean, especially if you come from a background where you have daddy issues. I think a lot of people have daddy, mommy issues. I mean, every mom and dad try their best, but they're human. And mines were certainly very human. Alrighty, what's next? Eyeshadow. I still do it this way because I think I look the best this way. I know it's not in trend to like have so much eyeshadow. It's not in trend at all. It's also more important that you listen to your face and your body. If it doesn't look good on your body, then who cares, you know? Like low-waisted stuff does not look good on my body. I'm a mom and I have a very pudgy, pregnant, still looking pregnant kind of body. I mean, that's not, especially when I'm bloated. Yeah. So low rise jeans are just not okay on me. Even if they're in style, I could never wear it, and I'm okay with that. And I think I kind of look cute without all the eyeshadow, so if I did want to look a little put together but not too crazy, I opted to not do the eyeshadow. Since I'm on camera, I feel like you want to look a little bit more theater kids put extra makeup on, and same with like at a wedding, you want to look good in the pictures, not really, so you'll go extra ham if you're a bride, or you know, in general, like a bridesmaid, whatever. What's there to talk about? I don't know. You guys can ask me questions if you like. It's cool though. I appreciate that you're watching. Let's see what's next. Eyebrows. Yes, I also don't know about the trend of flicking your eyebrows up. I think they look great on some people, but it's also kind of wild. Maybe I'm just not used to it because I'm older. So old. I used to miss being in my 20s. I'm not gonna lie. I went through a phase where I was sad. So sad. Maybe like a year of sadness because I'll never be young again. I'll never fuck a new guy. I'll never date. I'll never fall in love. I'm happily married, but you know, like all those new experiences, all that. Something about being in your 20s is so youthful, but you're still an adult. It's like a perfect time. Feeling. It's not really a perfect time though. If I look back objectively, your 20s, you're so self-conscious and you're still figuring yourself out. And you don't know who you are, and you're not emboldened to do stuff. Like, I could never have been on Twitch at 20, or YouTube, or any of this, or write my book. I couldn't have done anything because I was so scared of it's not the right path, you know? I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm Asian, and I have Asian and very Asian upbringing, where if it doesn't have to do with school or work or becoming an engineer or a lawyer or a doctor, then why are you doing it kind of situation that I really believed in, because that's what my mom taught me. So I could never do anything I was interested in outside of, anyways, in your 30s, or in my 30s, I've been very excited. I have like all these crazy goals. Some of them are hella crazy. Like, my husband's okay with this. So the cat is not real, but he moves. How is he not real? How is he not real? And he has a high blood pressure. That bastard. He makes me go to the vet a ton. So I'll tell you if he's real or not. And I was thinking of taxidermying him, actually. You know how expensive it is? It's crazy. I did some research because it used to be a joke. There was a lot of jokes I made about his death. I don't know why. I'm all messed up inside. I guess it's how I cope. Anyways, I was thinking if we had a wake for him, I would play that song from How I Met Your Mother, Cat Funeral, Cat Funeral. You know that song? It's ridiculous. And then I would feed him in the soup, and during my effigy, I don't know what it's called, eulogy, I would say he was so great in life and his meat was so tender in death, something like that. And then they wouldn't know he was in the soup. I make this joke all the time. It's really fucked up. But I was also thinking I could taxidermy him. I'm obviously not going to eat my cat. I don't think I would. But he costs so much money. I think I've spent at least 20 grand on this motherfucker throughout his life. So it's kind of as expensive, more expensive than Kobe beef. I might as well eat him, you know? Like, get all my money's worth. See, and he left on his own because he didn't want to be here anymore. He didn't think this was good enough. All right, I'm not supposed to make these jokes because my therapist tells me like self-deprecating jokes are like not cool because you actually believe it. But whatever, who cares? Forget her. I pay her money so I don't have to listen to her. Hello. How's it going? Oh, it's good. It's good. It's just talking about my cat and what I want to do to him when he dies. How are you? Oh, that's sweet. I'm glad. Where do you live? You're going on a concert? What concert? Oh, I'm so jealous. I love it. Enjoy your life. Greece. Wow. Cool. At the concert? Is it like Coachella? It's a festival? I used to love Coachella. Fun times. I have a kid now, so I can't really do any of that stuff. But it's a new kind of life. Different chapter in my life. Different kind of fun. Less alcohol. Rats. Anarchy is pretty well rooted in compared to other countries. What is anarchy? Am I saying that right? I don't get it. Is it a political event that was put in jail without any evidence? It's a support? Oh, very much political. Oh, here we go. Wait, so if they were put in jail, without any evidence of terrorism. So you're there because you're trying to raise funds to get the anarchists out. Is that correct? I was getting confused there. So you must be very politically involved. I try to stay away from politics these days. I live in America where it's just a shit show, to be honest, and makes me sad because I think, well, in our country we have Republicans and Democrats, and I feel like everyone kind of wants the same thing, but we're just not saying it the right way so that we can hear each other. Anyways, it's too exhausting, so I try to just vote when I can, and yeah, that's all I can do. And I vote every time because it matters. Yeah, you know. Good. But it's not good for my mental health. But I really appreciate people who are politically involved and are willing to do the hard work because it takes a lot of effort and it's a free thing that you're doing, and yeah, it would be very powerful that you do. Do I play games? Thank you for asking. I don't really play games. What do I do for fun? I dance, I run, I hang out with my kid. Like I was saying before, I'm writing a novel. It's a fantasy, romance, erotic novel, which I think it's really fun. I'm excited for it. Yeah. I want to put it on ADP. I'm actually writing it with ChatGPT because ChatGPT writes well for me. I'm not really a writer. I'm just good with storylines and maybe... Oh, you're writing a children's book? I love that. That's funny. Actually, let me show you. Yes, ChatGPT does write really well, and I use it for therapy. My second therapist. I want to show you a poem I made for my kid. Not for my kid, about my kid. When I was really... Something about sleep deprived. Let's see, do I have it still? It was a really funny poem. It's really talking shit about how hard it is to raise or to have a baby and not sleep. I thought it could be a little, not a children's book, definitely, but like a parent's book about validating how hard it is to not sleep. But I don't think I could find it, which is a bummer. Oh yeah, no worries. You suffer for schizophrenia. You know, I heard my mom was diagnosed with that, but I don't know for sure if she is schizophrenic. She does believe her own like dreams and thoughts instead of like factual stuff sometimes, and then it was kind of tough to be honest, being her daughter. But I also think it's kind of tough to be her. So, what kind of mental health stuff? Well, if you don't mind, you can share your other mental health stuff too, because I don't know very much about schizophrenia. I would love to know more about how it affects you. And how you cope with it. I really like that. I am not severely anxious, but I can be very anxious, and I'm working on it. And I think everyone just has a lot of mental health issues. I don't know if I have a label, because I never asked my therapist, which I feel like you could, but I feel like that's also, I'd rather not know. I'd rather just kind of work on my problems, like specific problems. Anyways, I got a lot of daddy issues. My dad abandoned me when I was young, and that really traumatized me. And then I have a lot of control issues. Not that I need to control everything, but I hate it when people try to control me. Which came from my mom. My mom was very controlling. Is literally living in a parallel reality. Really? Intrusive thoughts, hallucinations. Wow. That must be so hard, because people probably can't validate what you're going through. They probably tell you this is not real, but it's very real in your head, right? And very real if you see it, and the thoughts are real. It's kind of like depression. People try to help with mental health, but people are not trained to help, especially the people we confide in most of the time. Like my family and friends they might not know what to say, when it comes to mental health, especially when you're younger, or you ask your friends and you're younger, or in general, even my Asian ass parents that have no idea what mental health really means, think I'm crazy to go to therapy. When they're crazier than me because they don't go to therapy. Let's see. Funny. What was it? I can't remember what I was going to say about that. I think it's going to be hard for you to validate yourself, but I think that is where you have to start, because if you try to everyone's going to have their opinions, especially if you're schizophrenic. That's a huge thing, and people will not understand what you're going through. And they will not know what to say. This is just real. Like, they want to help, but they will not say the right thing. I think it would be so important if you could journal sometimes about how you feel. Like, I do see these things. I do hear these things in my thoughts. It is so hard for me. Things like that. Like, say, even if other people cannot see my pain, I see my own pain. And I want to be here for me. Or I'm just saying, I don't know if you want to take my advice. Sorry. It's okay. I don't want to tell you what to do either. But, I hope that helps you, because that's been helping me. Parenthood can be rough, or in general, just anything where people invalidate me by accident. I would journal about it and be on my own side, because no one's going to be on your side most of the time. Or they're trying to, but they flop all the time. People flop all the time. How'd you make the fake cat switch positions? How silly. I told you I wanted to taxidermy my cat. Totally wanted to. And I was thinking, so then you could do it as a soft, he could be soft and squishy like a teddy bear, or he could be hard and stiff and in the same position. I was thinking the position where he's licking himself all the time would be so funny, or the position where he could just be soft and squishy so I can move him around. And then if I was angry at my husband, I would put him in his office late at night, and then he'd find him, or he'd find him in weird places, and then that would be my passive aggressive way of getting at my husband. Anyways, it's hard to stay positive too, because I don't know, it's just so hard to be positive. I think it's okay to also be negative. I tell my kid all the time, it's okay to cry. So when I'm crying, she's looking at me like I'm crazy, and I'm like, hey, it's okay. I tell you it's okay to cry, so it's okay for me to cry too. Okay, that's good that your mental health issues are not that difficult. Or are you saying the staying positive is not that difficult? Totally. I think that's a big thing in parenthood too. I know, I always go back to parenthood because momming is so big to me. But a lot of parents in America bubble wrap their kids, and they really scared for their kids to feel pain. And I don't think I want to raise my child to be scared of pain. I want her to go through it. And I can't do it. I cannot constantly watch her and constantly be on her. I don't want to be that mom. I don't want to be obsessed with my kid's pain because, yeah, I feel like it's infinitely more painful as a mom to watch your kid go through pain. You would rather go through pain to watch your kid pain. But you have to bear that pain with them because you need to show them that it's okay to feel pain. We all have to work at doing stuff, and things are not going to work out the way you want it to, okay? Like, I'm Buddhist, so like life is suffering is such a big thing in my life. And that doesn't mean that you won't find joy in life either. I feel like you have to fail sometimes. You have to try, you have to get rejected, you have to do this and that. And there's a lot of pain in it, but there's also a lot of joy and fun when you do a lot of these things. I'm glad that you are staying positive though. That's good. Do you have a therapist or is it ChatGPT? I mean, if you want to talk about it. You're an atheist. Cool. Thank you. I totally agree. I mean, not to shit on other religions. It's just hard because I feel like even with Buddhism, there are people like my mom, she was so controlling. She was a monk actually, shaved her head and everything throughout like my middle school, high school, whatever. But she was so controlling and not a great Buddhist, I felt. I felt like she had a lot of demons, but I get Christianity and Catholicism. I think the beauty about religion is that you're trying to be better. You don't have to be perfect, but I feel like people get lost in the sinner mentality and or you always have to be so good, but you deprive yourself of things. Say you're not having sex until you get married. Ooh, that's tough. It's like, and then you choose, sometimes a lot of my Christian friends will choose someone that's not perfect for them, that's not right for them, but then they just want to fuck so bad. And it's like, it's so sad, the depravity of things. Like, we kind of have to listen to ourselves when you want to be perfect at something. I get these morals are very important to people, but then they also can really put you down. So like, I used to be a vegan. I used to be vegetarian. Now it's just too hard to be vegetarian. I am a low meat eater throughout everything, but like, I have a daughter and my husband, they both eat meat. So like, anyways, I'm not gonna make more food just for me. It's too much work. So I digress. I used to be a vegan and that was so hard on me. Like, I would judge other people and I don't want to be that person who has a, stick up their ass that think they're better than other people. And it was only because I was depriving myself of something I actually kind of need a little bit. It's not like I need so much of it, but I think as long as you're being resourceful, kind of like a Native American mentality where you're like thankful for the food and realize, yes, this animal was a life and it was precious, and I'm gonna make sure I eat every fucking bite of him so that it's not wasteful, etc., etc. And I won't eat too much. I'm not being gluttonous about it. I think that was a better way, because when I was drunk, I would totally eat meat and then I'd go back to it was like, I don't know. There's a lot of things to say about that. It's kind of like people who are in the closet, homosexual, and then they would get drunk and do the same thing. It's like, we're not being honest with what we need or what we unfortunately need. We're just human. We just have to like be human and be okay with it. Let me continue reading. Sorry. Not the fact that Oh, Greece sucks with therapy? Tell me more. Is it because they don't have is it because of your insurance that it's hard to get a therapist? Or is it because there's so many things to getting therapists in America? So I wonder if or is it because they train poorly? Or is it because there's not a lot of therapists? Or is it because you guys, or in Greece, maybe mental health isn't a big deal? Like, they don't think it's a thing. Some people are like that. Or some countries are like that, unfortunately. I think Buddhism can be great. But I also think it's not necessarily, I think it depends on the person, because sometimes Buddhism is also really toxic depending on the person. It's like humans are toxic, or can be. So then it's like, doesn't matter what religion you have, you know what I mean? asked my therapist to get there. Oh yeah, psychologist. He replied there's no M. What? Even, I mean, if you have schizophrenia, that's enough to go to therapy. You know, even in America, if you have Kaiser, I know you don't know what Kaiser is, but it's basically like a specific hospital insurance, etc. thing. And my friend was trying to go, but then she felt like she had to say she was gonna kill herself or have suicidal thoughts, and that's the only way she would be able to see a therapist. But I'm like, other than that, there's so many other things. Like, you don't have to be suicidal to have mental health issues, you know? You could just be having a hard time. It should just be like, are you having a hard time in life? Yes? Okay, can we go see a therapist? That's how ideal, whatever. You know what? We live in a world that's not ideal, obviously, because life is suffering. Always. In Greece, almost everything concerning health or education is free. Is it? Is that bad or good? That sounds lovely. I think my doctor is at fault about therapy. Absolutely. It is absolutely. Oh, so awesome. Even college? Oh, that's nice. I wonder what that's like. It's so expensive here. I think that's why I stopped at one kid too. And it's so funny because America wants you to have more kids, but it's so expensive to live with inflation and this and that and that and this and like student loans and the housing supply is low and everything's so expensive and people want to have kids, they really do, but it's not feasible. It's just not financially there for a lot of people. So I stopped at one because I was like, this is so fucking expensive already. It's nice that you guys have that. I'm glad, and I'm glad that your government is working with you and like caring about, at least kind of caring about you, as these are basic things that we all need. You know, we need education to like think for ourselves and to make our lives better. We need health. Those are like basic things, and the government's supposed to be there for us. I don't know if you know this, in America, there was a guy who was like, well, I don't remember the health insurance, but he killed the health insurance CEO, and then everyone was so like he was so popular. And okay, wait, so let me finish. Sorry, I'll read, sorry. So he's very popular. He shot the guy, and everyone loved him. He's like basically Batman to us right now. And that says a lot about our society, because we are okay with someone shooting another person because the CEO would not pay for a lot of people's health insurance plans. Like they would pay into it, the premiums, if you know anything. It's like we have to pay them a certain amount so that if we got sick, they would pay for us. But they don't. They would not pay for us, and they got away with it. And government does not come in to like regulate these companies, and they're just running amok and taking advantage of consumers, taking advantage of their employees, and so finally we felt like so powerless that we watched this guy fucking kill this other guy, and we applaud him. And he is a hero to a lot of people. And people like the establishment and the 1% are so annoying because they're like, what the fuck? Like, they killed one of us. You know, we're so scared. You guys should feel like you should like berate him for killing one of us. But then someone on Twitter was like, that CEO was okay with the fact that 40,000 people a month were not getting health services, and died. So technically, didn't that guy kill a bunch of people too? It's just so messed up. It's just like America. I love being American. We love our supreme leader. Sorry, if you knew that was sarcastic, I really hate our supreme leader. Let's see. I would be dead if I had insurance. Yeah, I hear that. Let's see. Our current government is not the best, but throughout our history, we've been lucky. Oh, what's going on with your government? I'd love to know more. Because he was hot. Oh, wait, sorry. We're not gonna go protest at KFC no more. What are you saying? Or because he was hot. What are you saying? Sorry, I don't know this word. Hyperstrophilia is a phenomenon characterizing a sexual interest or attraction to somebody who commits crimes. Oh, like Batman, right? Oh, Ted Bundy. Oh, God. That's funny. Okay, the Luigi dude, yes. Okay, first of all, he was pretty hot. I mean, I don't want, and also, it wasn't, okay, Ted Bundy, let me just say, as a woman, or my own opinion as a woman, it was pretty smooth that he hit up on someone right before he shot up the guy. He hit up on like a coffee worker at Starbucks. So nonchalant, so cool, suave, like he's not scared that he's doing this big thing. I mean, I'm sorry, that's cool. And then second of all, what was the other thing? He's killing because he felt like, again, we were all feeling so powerless. It's not like he was like doing it because, I don't know if he got satisfaction out of it. I don't know his psychology. I don't know any of that. I'm just saying, like, we all agreed on, unfortunately, we are at a point in society where we are like, we don't feel like the government has our back as people, and no one, like, we feel so powerless even though we vote these people in. It's like, oh my God, even this last election was like Trump and Kamala Harris. It was like, okay, do I go for the shittier person or the shitty person? It's like, even our choices are not good, you know what I mean? So yes, it is. I would say I do have a little bit of the hots for this man, this Luigi dude, but I feel like it's not the same as the women that had the hots for Ted Bundy. I just wanted to clarify. And yes, I do tell my husband. My husband is very understanding of my crazy. And yes, I am a little crazy. And I don't know if it's crazy to be, I don't know if I was meant for monogamy. I have a wandering eye. I don't mind that I do. This is just like me being me. Like, I can't say, if I pretended that I didn't have a wandering eye, then I just feel like that's like shutting out a part of me that's like not being true to myself. And it's not like I'm cheating on my husband. I'm just saying, like, this guy's kind of hot and he's actually okay with it. So it just depends on your comfort level and like who you marry, and hopefully you marry someone that is compatible with you and you're crazy, you know, because everyone's crazy. So you just gotta make sure that the person you marry is complementary to your own crazy. Or that's how I feel about it. I don't want to sound extreme, but it's failed state. Oh, totally. We are a failed state. 100%. We are probably, I read a lot of history. Well, not that really, but the one time I was at the library, I was reading a history book about how this happens over and over, actually. Inequality becomes so painful for the bottom that they just kill the top. And it's very common. Like, it happened in China with the revolutions, in France, and where else did it go? It just happened, in Russia. So we're just at a point. I don't know when it's going to happen, especially with the internet and everyone, like, it's just so fast and rampant right now that I feel like it takes so much. Like, because of inflation, a lot of people have 2 jobs in America. And it's, how sad is that you don't have time for your friends and your family, and all you do to survive is to work. And these people at the top do not even care. They don't care. They're not human too. Like, they don't think of us as humans. They think we're just cogs in the machine. I hope I'm married. Anyways, yeah. So liking another woman's picture on Instagram isn't cheating. Oh my God, that's so funny. Thank you for asking that. So I used to be super jealous, really crazy jealous. Like, anyways, my dad left me, but then my mom told me that he left because, so Vietnamese. He was making a new family with a younger, more beautiful woman. This is a very Vietnamese thing. If you don't know anything about Vietnamese people, men do typically cheat on their wives, or in Vietnam. I don't think the Vietnamese American men are like that, because I have Vietnamese American cousins, and they're very sweet, and they don't cheat on their significant others. But anyways, my uncles all cheat on their wives. It's so sad. And sometimes they leave their wives and their families for other people, other younger women. So annoying. And then what was I saying about that? So anyways, I was super jealous. I've been really jealous, and he did that. He used to look at other women's pictures, and I thought it was cheating. Like, I honestly felt betrayed. That was the first time we had to go to marriage counseling, and And yes, my therapist was like, they were shocked. They were like, they thought they didn't say it, but I know they thought I was overreacting. And that's okay, because this was my feelings for a reason. It's like, I was so scared to be abandoned by my dad. And I was so scared that, like, I wouldn't let him do, if he did that, it was a betrayal to me, because he knew that it was not okay. Yes. So anyways, if you talk to your significant other and you tell them it's not okay if you do this, and they do it anyways behind your back, that's not okay. But like, if you talk to them and say like, hey, this is like where I'm at, are you comfortable with it? And they're comfortable with it, then why is it not okay? Does that make sense? Anyways, I got over it. I'm not jealous anymore. Actually, we watched, TMI, but like when we have Hank, sometimes we watch porn together. And then I'm like really trying to explore this more. Like, he's not down for not monogamy, but I'm kind of not sure if I'm the type of person who wouldn't be down to not be monogamous. But again, I said, I would love to try an open relationship. I would see if, and then he said that he wasn't comfortable with that. And then I said, because I am in love with him and I choose to be with my family and not make a bomb out of this, that it's okay. It's like, it's okay that I'm not gonna fuck other men. He said that I would probably get all the guys and all the dicks, and then he would be like, he would at most get one vagina. So I was like, that's fair. That's fair. So I was, yeah. Anyways, why am I talking about this? Let's see. This should not be happening anywhere, let alone in the richest countries in the world. It's not really the richest country in the world. It's more, if you live in America, there's a lot of not really scarcity, but it's very hard to explain. I feel like a lot of people do not live within their means. A lot of people have been, in America, you shop and shop and shop, and then a lot of people live paycheck to paycheck. They do not have $400 in their bank account. But even people who make a lot of money, like people who make over $100,000, will not have a lot in their bank account. They just spend it because that's the American way. That's like how you get this, that the government has made it so that if you spend all your money, the stock market will go up. The 1% will make a lot of money. So they care all about that. And so even though we're supposed to have abundance, and we do, we're such consumers, consumer. Oh my God, everyone's so consuming. Even though we have that abundance, I feel like we're all really starved. I feel like we're like valuing the wrong things in life, you know? I feel like we value new clothes or new this or like new materials, but we don't value experiences. We don't value relationships. We don't value humans. We don't value, our planet. And we don't value our happiness, really, because like, yeah, we get a dopamine high when we buy, but like that goes away. It's very superficial, and it's, I don't know. To me, I feel like it's a sad way to live, but again, it's a societal problem. I wouldn't blame anyone who lives like that in America, because I feel like we were all brainwashed to live like that, you know? It's a system. It's the system we lived in. It should not be happening anywhere. Yeah, exactly. Some socialism is in order. Totally. And you know what? In America, yes, thank you. I like you. We should be friends. Please follow if you like. I would love to talk about politics with you more often. Anyways, let's see. In America, Republicans have swung it so that they think socialism is bad. They think it's kind of like communism. They're convinced. So then there's so much misinformation. It's so sad. I mean, I've been so burned by it. I can cry all day long about how my family has been separated. We are severely separated. How I miss my brother so much, and how we cannot talk to each other because and it's so sad because I would not want politics to be a part of my life so much. But it's like nowadays you can't avoid it. It's like, will you wear a mask? No. Like, will you get a flu shot? No. Like some things that you need sometimes. And then it just gets in the way with family, and it's so painful. But anyways, I told him about socialism. I told him we need, socialism is like libraries. It's like freeways. It's like roads. It's not that, I don't know how to explain it to him, because he thinks of it as communism, as like China is not getting your free will, like taking away your free will. Anyways, in America, it's so painful. It's not an easy time. I do not like it. That have appeared in the past centuries have been really given a bad... I know, I mean, I don't actually... here, again, this part I do not know. If you'd like to explain it to me, I'd love to be more educated on communism, because I know that it came from a very nice idea, it's like idealized, but then it became very dictatorship, especially in China. Yeah. But in America, I know the right would love some of these things that the left would want. They would want free healthcare. I was just talking to someone who's on the Republican side who complained about insurance going up. Insurance has been going up. Oh my God, let me tell you about this. I'm just going to rant about life in California. So I live in Los Angeles, and so there's these fires that were going about because of global warming, of course, and they were bound to happen. There's actually lots of fires common in Los Angeles sometimes. Anyways, it's such a disaster, such a shit show. Everything's such a shit show. So the fire insurance knew that this was going to happen, so they pulled everyone's insurance. People who've been paying 20 years of insurance money, 20 years, they have to. In America, you are legally in America, if you have a home, you are legally have to have insurance, home insurance, for these kind of situations. They make you buy home insurance. So you are forced to be a consumer, but they're not forced to pay out when that's their business model. And then it's just such a disaster. It's just people who are losing their homes, who are displaced and have to go somewhere else, and then no one, the thing they put into is not paying out. It's just pure scam. Yes. That's why we were happy when Luigi came around. A part of me is since we were all so happy, part of me was well, maybe there'll be a second Luigi, please. Maybe, hopeful. I mean, I'm hopeful, but who knows, It's a really brave thing that he did. It's he took one for the team, and I don't know if everyone has that in them, Anyways. Ooh, what's a pacifist? You're teaching me so much. People who believe that war and violence are unjustifiable. I agree. War and violence is unjustifiable. I'm writing a book about a vampire king who's trying to kill off the nymph nation, whatever, because he doesn't want a prophecy to come true where he falls in love with her, whatever. I'm mushy, romantic, whatever. And then, and then the woman that he falls in love with is extremely critical. She's a soldier, and she's extremely critical of the war. She's saying that. I think I said something millions of people die because of the egos of the privileged, I don't know, the privileged 1%. It's not exactly in those words, but basically the leaders and their egos and how much money they all have to have, and their comparison with each other and their competition with each other so that they can have the most money, whatever, and they don't even care about what they're doing to people. They don't care. Yeah. I don't know what an anarchist is either. I don't know what anarchy is. I really would love to. A state of disorder due to absence or non-recognition of authority or other controlling systems. The organization of society on the basis of voluntary cooperation without political institutions or hierarchy government. Okay, so you don't believe in government, but you believe that everyone should do their part to create systems for the people? Is that what you're saying? I don't know could you explain it more? Yeah. Without government. But please elaborate what you mean by without government. Who would be the ones who take over in replace of a government? Because we still need roads, we still need to figure out schools, we still need to figure out right? Like, how would it go? I don't know. Also, in America, I feel like we don't actually have a government, right? So I feel like that also doesn't work out, because I think I think it is important. Like in Sweden, is it Sweden? No, Switzerland? Sweden, the Nordic countries, Finland, Sweden, their government is very anal, very protective of the people. Very, very protective. Not protective of companies, not protective of, it's like a very check and balance kind of situation there. Like, really, versus here in America where companies like are running amok, right? So I really I believe in a government just because I can see how hard it is to, I don't know, maybe you're saying that the people can do all that check and balances without a government. Is that what you're saying? Things won't change unless people demand it. Yeah, I agree that too. Things do not change if people do not demand it in mass. I feel like, but then also, if you know anything about America, like the left and the right really do want the same things. They just are pitted against each other because of the 1%. So it's not like we should be focused on top versus bottom versus not left versus right. But, it's actually very similar to the patriarchy. If you know anything about patriarchy, women are the ones that do most of the attacking. You're the slut, like, you're a prude, like, da-da-da, like, da-da, like you shouldn't be wearing that, or like, what a bitch, or da-da-da. Women are doing all the attacking, so men don't actually have to do the attacking. So if you pit them against each other, they have less power. And so that's patriarchy. But I feel like it's the same with the 1%, right? They pit the left and the right against each other. I agree that we are better in a mass. We should be working together to make anything effective, but life is not like that. Let's see. We would have representatives at our neighborhood level, and we would have to all agree on a specific plan for everything. Okay? And everyone would be able to vote, of course. Yes, I completely agree. The rich are always against this class struggles because they're the ones on top. Yep. But to be honest, I also think the rich have the best intentions for humanity in mind. They're just lost in their personal gain. What do you mean by you think they have the best intentions for humanity? Tell me more. I see. So you would have representatives would kind of be a government, right? You would be hiring these people to build schools or build roads or something like that. Is that what you're saying? But we also need like someone in charge to check companies, no? That all humans are born kinder than we think. Oh, you're so sweet. I like the way you think. I really love that you think that. I too believe that, I try to believe that we do so much judging, we just like, you're bad, you're good, da-da-da, this is bad, this is good, da-da-da, but like, if you are curious about why someone behaves the way they are, you can tell there's so many things in their lives, forces outside of themselves that make them behave that way. Say you're kind of a rude bitch. If you're really rude, maybe they're rude because they didn't have parents that taught them how to be polite. They've been bullied their whole lives, so they felt like they had to always be on the attack. Something in there, if you know a lot about mental health, they're like, they have PTSD. So even if they're triggered a little, they're going to act a certain way because they're angry. So if we could be more curious about the way people behave and why they behave so badly, you can understand that it comes from a very human place. It's not like because they're bad. They don't mean to be. I agree with everything you're saying, basically. Let's see. To be honest, I think that, yes, okay. But tell me about how you think specifically rich people. I mean, unless you've already told me and I didn't read it. But let me read it, sorry. I talk a lot. Become savage along the way to survive, but I think everyone, when given the power to change humanity, would want the best for it. Yeah, exactly. But do you have an example? Because I think we get lost along the way. I agree with that. So like, in America, we are very critical of Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos. What was I gonna say about that? They're really obsessed about like SpaceX and like going to space and da. And I feel like it came from a place where they were worried about the world like going to shit in a handbasket, and they wanted to find another way to survive. But then it became like this commercial thing that you can do so you could go to space if you're really rich. What am I trying to say about that? I'm trying to say that I don't really know all the time if they always have the best intentions. In the end, they get, maybe it's because they are at the top, so then all they talk to are people who want more money from them, right? So then it becomes like they might purely would do it for their ambition. Like Elon Musk did it, he started off because of the electric car thing, which is very, very noble, you know? Like, we don't need gas anymore, fossil fuels and whatever, you know? So it was very noble, but then eventually it became all about how much his stocks cost, or how much, like, it's rising, or, like, how much power he has, or how much he can give back to his, you know, the people that he's influenced by. And if you're around people like that all the time, then you're kind of gonna be forced to become just greedy, or thinking about your bottom line, or you lose focus about what you valued in the first place. Do you know what I don't know what that is. I think I've seen this. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce it. I feel like if I said it wrong, it would be embarrassing, so I'm not going to try. Oh, Linux. Oh, yes, I do know Linux. Okay. Kind of. I majored in computer science, but I don't know anything anymore. So, I mean, the examples are everywhere around this. These guys are just playing the role that were given to them. I think there are groups of people that truly set the fate of the world. Do you know how it's made? I do not know how it's made. People who truly set the history and the fate. That's probably true. I feel you're probably right about everyone. I think we're all trying, but I feel like a lot of things are just set in motion that is not in our control. Like my daddy issues and my jealousy. That was not in my control, you know what I mean? Let's see. Meaning everyone can take it or tweak it as they see fit. Is it kind of like a wiki page? Like a Wikipedia page where they don't actually make all the information. Other people collect facts and put it in. Is it like that? Okay. But what's that have to do with these rich people? You know, I mean, I don't know if that's true. I would love to believe that. You know, I do believe that 99% of the world, or America, is really caring about people, you know? Like, but I don't know about the 1%. I mean, I know they are influenced by greedy people too, so it's not like it's all their fault. And also we live in America where we only value wealth, right? So then it's like also a societal issue, and that's why they are at the top, or why they want to stay at the top, or why they squeeze so much out of us. But that doesn't mean I believe I don't know if I believe everyone is good anymore, you know? Like I believe 99% of people are good. I believe that's why I think Wikipedia does work. You're right. Like idealistically, some of that is true. Like we all try to care, and we all try our part, and we all mess up, but we all care a lot. We're not trying to fuck up the world, but there's also a lot of sociopaths who get it to the top, right? And then they're the ones in power that affect a lot of our lives. And so, like I would say about Ted Bundy again, like he's not a good man. Like he liked being cruel. And I don't know. I just feel like the Luigi guy killing that CEO, he was on top, and I don't know if he cared that a lot of people dying. He didn't seem to care. And yeah, I wish they had better. I wish I believed what you believe, that they have better intentions, but I just don't. But I don't want to demonize them either, because I understand why they are at the top. Like, I can't imagine if I was at the top, maybe I'd be a motherfucker just like them, you know? Like, I think it's sometimes very situational, the way you behave. And then you're also like, you're always with the people at the top who are competing against each other, and all they care about is like how much money you all have relative to each other, you know what I mean? And they don't see other things other than money. So think think they don't care about humans anymore. I don't think, especially in America. If you know about Amazon, the delivery people, it's ridiculous. Like, you can get your deliveries done in a day. Like, people will come after 2 hours of like just ordering something, and it's very efficient and very like, but these people who drive these trucks, they pee in their cars. I mean, they pee in their truck. They don't have time to go to the restroom. They don't have good hours. It's just messed up. So anyways, yeah, so I don't really believe in the top. I do believe a lot of people are good though. Most people are good. But the top is not very good. Aren't you supposed to go to a concert? Are you ready? Okay, then what do you mean at the top? Who else? You know a lot about American politics, by the way. I think that's very cool. Americans are not as enlightened about the world lead politics. Unfortunately. You're not crazy. You're just passionate. Illuminati stuff. Tell me more. I don't know anything about it. I've heard of them, though. Several groups, both real and fictional. I wish I could get I'll go on ChatGPT. He can explain it to me. I don't know if ChatGPT is a guy or girl, but I always call him a guy. But he's so emotionally intelligent. That's probably a woman, I think. Let's see. Describe various real and fictional surrounding mystery, secrecy, conspiracy theories. Here's break it down. Okay. It is a society to found, aim to promote enlightened ideals such as reason, freedom of thought, and sought to reduce the influence of religion and political tyranny. Oh, I like that. Modern myth and conspiracy theories. Okay. They are portrayed as a secret, powerful elite that control world events behind the scenes. These theories are not based on credible evidence, but they persist in pop culture and online communities. I have to leave. Oh, in an hour. No worries. You can stay as long as you like. No pressure. Enjoy, though. I hope you have fun. So you're saying the Illuminati are very powerful people that want the best for people. But it's also kind of fictional, so I don't know if they exist. I know some people exist. There is this guy who is running he was a billionaire as well, but he was running for the Democratic side like 8 years ago for president. And I thought he was really cute. He seemed like a really nice guy. So I don't say that everyone who's on top is cruel. Yeah, I wouldn't say everyone on top is cruel, but the people who are the loudest happen to be cruel. Maybe the 0.1%. I don't know. It's hard to say. I wish I could do something with my hair. This was a makeup session, so I'm gonna continue trying to do something with looking better than I was before, but it's kind of hard. I think I'm gonna just wear my hair in some kind of ponytail. It has a little thing in it. Honestly, think any kind of human with proper education and culture would strive for the best. I agree with you. I 100% agree with you. But a lot of people are not educated, unfortunately. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, it's true. A lot of people, you would think in America, everyone has education, but they have a lot of misinformation, and they have a lot of, especially with the internet and social media, a lot of people don't get their news from the, actual, authentic, real sources, you know? They get their news from who's popular, who's, an influencer, who's a celebrity. And all of that could be, or even people who are, even channels that are purposely trying to give them misinformation. What am I trying to say about that? Okay, quick question. Are you a woman or a man? You don't have to answer, but if you like, I would guess. I feel like you're a woman. I hope that's not offensive. You just seem so, not in an offensive way. Enlightened? I don't think a lot of men, maybe it's an American thing where they're not super enlightened. You know what I mean? They're all very macho and not everyone though. I think there are some people who really think about stuff. But see, this would be a very similar thing where you were saying about how if they had proper education, it's not just education, culture, right? Like you said, like American culture with men and like a lot of males, you can't cry, you can't, and that's such a big thing already. So if you can't cry, what are you gonna do? You're gonna get angry. You're not gonna be thoughtful. You're not gonna be mindful. They don't teach you how to be mindful. You know, they don't teach you to think about why you're angry or that you are angry. They don't teach you in our culture, right? So then sometimes they're not the best. I feel like men in America want to be better. They're all lost. I feel like a lot of them are lost and they want to be better, but they don't know how. And I also think men are not, well, you're a man, you don't seem stupid, but I can hear where you're coming from though. I was gonna say, also I feel like men in America, probably because of the patriarchy and a lot of other things, have a lot of privilege and they feel a little entitled, and so sometimes they feel entitled to my body. So annoying. Which is a serious thing. I really, but it's true. It's like they feel entitled to women's bodies. They feel entitled to you not rejecting them. They feel entitled to you putting out. They feel entitled to, I like that you were like thinking about that. They feel entitled to be successful when they didn't have the grit or the work ethic to be successful, whatever success means to them. And then they're lost, but then they don't know what to do to help themselves because they just feel like the world is like they become victims of their own reality. And then what happens? What happens to this lost generation? Because if you have a victim mentality all the time, you're not gonna feel responsible for your life. You're gonna feel like, yes, like it's sad that you can be the victim sometimes, right? Sometimes bad things do happen to you, but that's now your baggage. Unfortunately, everyone has to hold their own baggage and they're responsible for their own baggage, and they have to figure out how to work and adapt and like grow from it or etc. and work with it so that they can have the better life. But anyways, I feel like idealistically, you're right that if we had proper culture and education, we'd all be better off. But we don't live in an idealistic world. Oh wait, is the Twitch laugh emote? What does this mean? I don't understand. You know, this is my second time on Twitch, actually. I'm new to Twitch. I don't watch a lot of videos either. I'm completely new to Twitch. Someone just told me that they thought I would do well. So I have a YouTube channel that isn't doing well. I don't know if you watched How I Met Your Mother, but Mosby's designs has failed. It's really funny. I always say that whenever I'm like, but I mean, it's not doing bad. It's just, you know, anyways, I'm new at everything. So, oh, thank you. I appreciate that. You're a great talker too. Given time, you won't be there. I mean, I hope I would be successful, but I also want to. I've been going through a lot I'm very philosophical, anyways. What do I think? I used to be on YouTube and I used to, it's not focused, stupid thing. I need to buy a new thing, I'm sorry. Anyways, I used to be on YouTube and I used to worry about being famous or being successful, and like I made content and my intention for the content was to be successful, and that was not great content. It was not me. It was like I would go with the flow with what other people are videotaping or like what was in or what was popular or whatever, but it wasn't me, you know. And then eventually I was just like, I don't care if I was successful if it meant that I was successful at something I didn't really believed in, you know, or valued. So then now I just want to enjoy the flow and enjoy the process, and if it happens, it happens. But it's also like I have a very fulfilling life, you know, like, I mean, I'm just grateful for the life I live. I don't need to be successful to validate who I am, how worthy I am anymore. I used to. I think Americans are all like that. We were sold on a lie that we have to be successful to be worthy, which is so meritocracy. I mean, I don't know if you know, I'm sure you know what meritocracy is. It's like, you deserve to be at the top or you deserve to be at the bottom. Wherever you are in the hierarchy of like wealthy or status or whatever, you deserve to be there. And so if you believe that, and you're technically like, you don't make a lot of money or like you're you know, whatever, then then you feel like a loser, and that's not okay. It's like everyone on the bottom, there's so many people at the bottom. Why are we all telling everyone that we're losers? I mean, if you watch The School of Life on YouTube, I watch him like not religiously anymore, but yeah, I used to. He was talking about meritocracy, and he was saying in America, and it's so meritocracy like driven that like the suicide rate is like 20% more than it was in another country that has $2, they make $2 a day or $2 a month or something. And because they don't believe in that, because I know we were just talking about religion and how like religion can be not so great, but then there are some times when religion can be great, because then you have to have faith that you're in this path for a reason. So like if you do have, you're like in a poor path, you're kind of like, you really believe that like God is still loving you and God is still there for you and that you have value. And that's a beautiful thing to believe, you know, versus, in America. And I was sold on that lie too. So I just had to stop believing it, which is very hard, but that's what therapy is for. Otherwise, what's easier? I'm sorry, let me read this. You had to do it out of joy. Yes, I did have to do it out of joy. At some point it would fall apart. You're right, it would fall apart. No one can be consistent at stuff if they don't really enjoy it. I feel like it has to be, what is that word? External validation or rewards or money is never gonna propel you to do the things you like to do, the things, you know, to be, if you're going to be successful. I mean, sometimes if you're hella driven and like you live a very painful life, sometimes there are people like that. Because I know there are people who don't really love what they do, but they love money, right? There's people like that. But I feel like most people, you need to have that internal joy from what you do, or else what's the point of doing it, you know? You could react to some of these videos. I'm curious now. So true. What do you mean react? You could react to some of these videos. What do you mean by that? Anyways, I've been going through a journey with YouTube, because I've always believed that you have to love the thing you do. You don't have to be good at it, but you have to love the thing you do. I sing a lot. I used to sing as a kid, chronically, and my mom hated it because it wasn't like I was bad, but I wasn't great, and it drove my mom crazy because it was not like I had a beautiful voice. I did not have whatever. Anyways, only recently, after not 33 years of singing, I'm sure it wasn't singing at that long, but you know, like 30 years of singing, I got better at it. And now I don't feel like I'm professional, but I feel like I could be on stage. It doesn't matter how you look or whatever, right? It's about how you feel. It's really, everything should be about how you feel. Everyone would be happier if we all could just focus on how we feel. Let's see. YouTube videos. You could watch them live here and explain your thoughts on them. Oh, really? Thank you for that. I will definitely put that on, because I mean, I was just doing my makeup because I'm a mom, so I have to find ways to figure out life and living in a very way. But I can definitely do that. I think I'll cringe a little bit, but it'll be fun. You'll love watching me cringe too, I'm sure. Thank you. Yeah, this is crazy. It's been fun talking to you. I can't believe you're male still. Not in a bad way. It's just, you just seem so much more, are you securely attached? I'm sorry. I have to ask. I need to know what this face is. You say it's laughing? It's L-U-L. Isn't it L-O-L? What was I gonna ask you? L-U-L is slang for L-O-L? Can I ask how old you are? I have to ask, because I'm older. Oh, you're 35. Okay, you're not as old. Okay, I have to ask people what the new slang is, because I'm just like not understanding how people are talking these days. Oh, what is securely attached? Okay, I feel like you always had all the information. I'm glad to be sharing. So, securely attached. So I'm anxiously attached. What happens is when you're a parent, your parents
raise you a certain way and they show you specific kinds of love. And there's like 4 kinds of love. So then there's one that's not consistent, but they are warm. Say they sometimes provide for your needs, warmth and whatever, but then they're also not always there. They're not consistent. So you become anxious. That's what I am. Or that's what I'm working on, to become more securely attached. You can change it when you grow up, obviously with therapy, but you start off like this. So that means like if I'm worried that my husband's cheating on me, I will always think about it, and I will always try to do stuff so that I will prevent him cheating on me. It's like basically thinking about the future and all the things that could happen, and then being hyper vigilant and not basically trying to prevent that thing that you're so scared of happening to happen, because you don't have consistent love growing up, and you believe that you can have love, so that drives you to work harder to get that love, but you worry that it's not consistent, so you don't have any peace of mind. And then securely attached people have very consistent parents that like are there for them, not only to feed them and like to help them sleep or soothe them when they're crying or whatever, but they're very consistent about it. So then you grow up feeling like, yeah, of course there's love in the world, and of course like they're gonna be consistent about it, So then anyways, and then there's avoidant love, avoidant attachment. So if your parents never showed you any love, and then they reprimanded you for crying, reprimanded you for showing any kind of negative emotion, but except for anger, I feel like anger, everyone, yeah. Then you'll grow up not avoiding your problems, avoiding the feeling you get from all these painful problems that you have. Anyways, you seem securely attached. You've been on Twitch a long time. Oh, okay. So do you ask young people, and do they call you I don't know if you know what boomers are. Boomers are like 65 plus, older generation from, I don't know if it's America in general or in the world, but like we're Generation Y, and then the next generation is Z. So do you basically ask them, and do they make fun of you for being older? I wonder if people are going to make fun of me for being older. Your parents are amazing. That's nice. Securely attached people are wonderful. I feel like, I think most people are wonderful. It's not their fault that they have the issues they have, but I told my husband, because what happened was I would gravitate towards men that are projects. They have a lot of mental health issues, and I just wanted to be the helper. I was always the helper with my mom and my brothers, and in general, just like always the helper. And so I married someone that had a lot of problems so that I could help him all the time. We are both working on our problems together, like individually with our therapists. Both of us are in therapy, and he's better about it, and I feel like he is growing to become more securely attached. I too am growing to be more securely attached. If he ever croaked, knock on wood, if he ever died, I always have this fantasy of him dying. I'm sorry, I don't mean it like he's a bad person or whatever, but when you're in like I've been with this guy for 11 years, sometimes you just like wonder what it's like to be like dating again, or that's how I am a little bit. Anyways, he knows I'm like this. So I talked about how one day if he did croak, I would only want to date men who are securely attached, or women who are securely attached, because I cannot want a project anymore. I feel like I deserve a person that is already consistently loving, because I want to be consistently loving too. And I just feel like it's so much work to try to change someone. Plus, also, it's not my responsibility. Like, this now is a boundary issue, right? Because why am I so focused on changing this one person? They need to learn to change themselves. This is their life, right? And their problems. And I just, I send them love and like, I hope them well, but it's not my problem. So anyways, I was thinking that would be such a really big growth for me, because I feel like I only dated toxic men growing up, and I never dated a nice guy. I just I know it's so true that like familiar love is such a big thing, and sometimes you're just not attracted to a nice guy. But I told myself that even if I'm more attracted to a toxic man, I will work really hard to love a man that is not so toxic anymore, because I think I just don't find them as attractive anymore. It's just like, why are you in your 40s or 50s or God knows what and still acting the way you are, you know? I want people who want to grow with me. That's what I was saying to my husband. And he was like, why are you always talking about not having a nice guy? I'm so bad to him. I was like, you are growing into a nice guy. But then I was just saying, like, it was just so hard for him to grow. It was just so hard for me to watch him grow and be with him the whole time. That's all I was trying to say. Like, I want to start off with a nice guy, because he has grown into a nice guy. But it sounds hella offensive when he hears it in general, because, well, first I'm fantasizing about him croaking. Oh, it's so funny. Actually, I have this fantasy. It's so funny. The fantasy is that, like, he'll croak, and at his funeral, I'm like banging one of his friends, and then his friend is, and then I say, oh no, I can't do this while I'm banging him. I tell my husband this, and he's like, you're so fucked up. He asked me which friend, and I said, any one of them. Why don't you try to watch young people? Oh, I wish you would tell me. I don't know what you mean by that. You think that's a great mindset. If you want to elaborate, it's okay. There's a lot going on. Yes. Instincts versus kindness. Again, I got that from the School of Life. I mean, it's been an idea that I had tinkering for a while, but sometimes you can't implement it right away either. Like your subconscious and your conscious level. You know, everyone can have a very self-aware mind, but then they still behave improperly. You're like, I know I'm like this. Happens to everyone. We're all humans. So I think for years, I think that came to me like years ago, but only recently, after therapy and like growth and whatever, I've decided, and with my daughter, I just decided, if I can't marry another man or date another man that's not already has his shit together, he doesn't have to be perfect, but you know, like he has to be mentally healthy enough. I wouldn't date them. I don't think it's worth our time anymore. I think they're on their own journey for sure, to like finding themselves and becoming better. Let's see. What's savage? Oh, the fact that I want to like bang my friend, my husband's friend. I don't really, I mean, they used to be way more attractive in their 20s. So I used to really, I did want to bang them back then. But they're all getting older and like, it's different. I just going crazy. I'm just a little crazy. Like, you say you're crazy, I think I'm crazy. I'm probably crazier than you are. They think you're a pervert? Why? We're just talking about politics. How are you a pervert? You know, you have not asked me to show my titties for $50. Actually, the first time I was on Twitch, two men, I don't know if they're men, but they just asked me if I would show them my titties. And I was like, what the fuck? Is that the kind of thing you could do on Twitch? I had to Google it. Like, can you show your titties on Twitch? Because is it a culture? Like, how is that a thing? And then, yeah, so you can't do that. But they try to get you to do it because, or maybe that you can direct them to your OnlyFans page. I was, a side note, I like thought about having an OnlyFans page, but it would be for feet. And then it would be, I'd call it Only Feet, but it's already taken. That name is already taken. And then I would say for men that have a foot fetish. I don't know. I thought that was funny. I deliberately stopped talking so that you could laugh, but then I realized you can't laugh, and it's silent. But it would have totally have been silent anyways, because I think I usually think puns are not funny, but I think it's ironic to say a punny thing so that no one laughs and then you look silly. Okay, let's see. Wait, so they think you're a pervert because you're old? That's so messed up. I wonder if I would be a pervert because I'm old. But is it only a man thing? Oh yeah, just chatting category is full of horny teenagers. You mean talking horny teenagers? Or people viewing are horny teenagers? Oh, and are they the ones that will give me $50? But they don't have $50 because they're teenagers. And then I was thinking, how logistically would that even work? It's like, will they give me money first? Because I could con them and not give them the show. And then But then, or do I have to show them my titties first, and then they give me the money? But they could con me into it, you know? This is crazy. I get that teenagers should take precautions. I have a daughter too, so I hope that someday she's not online when she's under 18. I don't think she should be doing anything like this. Definitely. Until she's a lot older. Actually, I think I really want her to not have an iPhone or any smartphone until she's older. I want her to have one of those brick phones that, like, you know how it says 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, and then like it's like to get to C you have to press 111. I want her to have that phone so that if she actually wanted to go on an app, it'd be so difficult. I just think it's not good if you know anything about social media and women, like, you'll get body dysmorphia. You believe that you're not beautiful. You're going to have so much messed up stuff about, like, how things could be perfect and how I could strive to be this thin or this beautiful. If I got a nose job, if I Facetune my face and then go to a plastic surgeon and give them that. Basically like Lindsay Lohan. She looks beautiful, but she looked beautiful beforehand too, and I want my daughter to grow up not having to deal with that. But I also see the cons of not having social media because a lot of people do, and so is she gonna fit in? Like, everyone else has social media, everyone else is on their phone. How is she gonna talk to anyone when you're in a group of people and literally everyone is on their phone? It's like, it's sad, the world that we live in, that connection isn't really there. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Whenever I'm around my friends, I never have my phone. I never text anyone. If I have to, like, I have to, then I'll text back. But, like, I just think I think it's rude. I think we're here to connect to each other, you know, and talk to each other and be there for each other. And, like, and it's so much more valuable to have that connection than to be on your phone and texting people. You know, let's see. What do you talk to about teenagers? And just by the way, like, if you were talking to a teenager, and are they always women? I'm sorry, I have to ask. I mean, they could be men too, right? How do you choose? Where do you land, basically? What do you click on? That's good. I'm glad that you're like that. It seems like you and I are very idealistic. Because we believe in generally the same things. But I think it's okay to be idealistic. I was reading a book about perfectionism. And let's see, what about perfectionism? There's so many books about why perfectionism is bad. But this book was very about why it can also be good. Like, it just needs balance, right? So if you happen to be really good at certain things, like, I'm good at my makeup, right? Whatever. Let's just say that. But I used to wear it all the time as a shield. Anyways, I'm still good at my makeup, but I don't do it all the time because I'm trying to let that go. I don't know. I guess I'm trying to say, like, perfectionism is really nice. Idealizing stuff and, like, trying to strive for that ideal is not a bad thing. It's not. You should try to grow, right? But we also have to limit ourselves on understanding that the world's never going to be perfect. You're never going to be perfect. Your makeup's never going to be perfect. Your body's never going to be perfect. Instead of, like, just always striving for perfection. And also the way we fail is also a big thing. Because if you're very perfectionistic, you're also going to be really hard on yourself if you fail. And then that's when perfectionism can be toxic. But I would also say that if you're mindful and you learn to be self-compassionate, then that stuff, perfectionism is just a tool and idealizing stuff is also a tool in your belt that helps your life become better and helps other people's lives become better, etc., etc., etc. Anyways, let's see. I just choose based on vibes I can get from title and thumbnail. I think perfectionism is imperfect. Otherwise, it just feels artificial. Oh, perfection is imperfect. Oh, so like Lindsay Lohan looks so beautiful, but you think she's too beautiful. Is that what you're saying? Vibes and thumbnails. So they're just trolling you. Okay. Yeah, you're not a creep. You didn't ask me to show my titties. I told my husband that a couple of people did that on the last one, and I told him that I wouldn't go low as like $300. I was like, if I'm gonna show you my titties, But then I was also like, I have really small boobs and I like my small boobs. But I was also like, they're not really worth $50. And I'm not gonna sell you on a lie, you know, that my titties are worth $50. So like, go bark up another tree that has bigger fruit. And then I was like, I don't know why I always go back to the foot fetish thing. But I just think foot fetishes are funny. My college friend was all about foot fetishes. He just thought it was so funny. So then when we were graduating, me and my friend, we partied the night before and we made posters with really ugly feet. There was like hair on the feet, and then there was like this toenail, the big toenail, and it was sharp and black. And then we brought it for his graduation, and his parents thought he was so, like, they thought his friends were so weird. But it was him. He's the weird one, because he's the one who likes feet. Let's see. I would advise against going that path. Which path? Oh, making money through, like, slutty things, right? Is that what you're saying? You would make big money but at the price of making teenagers think women are just there to be sexual dolls. I mean, I agree. I just joke about it. I will always joke about money and sex, because I think it's like, oh, okay, here. Being a stripper was like one of my things it was like one of the tidbits I always came back to. I thought it was so funny to like aspire in my 20s to be a stripper. I was like, oh, if I got a boob job, these babies would pay for themselves. And then if like I get money from like actual cash, I don't have to pay taxes on that. And then I just have to do it for 10 years, maybe 5 years. Depends how like bad it is that I age, you know? And then I'm good, I'm done. I can retire my G-string. That's what I used to say all the time. Anyways, obviously I would never do that. I'm not, my mom was a monk. I don't think I could do any of that. And actually I got very fortunate because I feel like I'm a very attractive enough woman. And men, like the one I dated, would, you know, pay for a lot of things. So I didn't really actually have to strip. And if I did strip, it was for one man. But it wasn't like I was a sugar baby either. It's just like my boyfriends were very generous to me. Anyways, I digress. And I also think we shouldn't shame anyone that is going through that path, you know, that it became a stripper, became a hooker, a sex worker, became a whatever, or like the OnlyFans. Yes, I think there's a very sad thing in their life to make them do that, right? Whatever it is, there's so many ways. I had a friend who did do it, who was stripping, but only because her dad was going through he passed away, but he was going through a lot of medical stuff, and they needed money for mortgage and whatever, and she wanted to see she had to raise her sister, so she didn't have a lot of time, and so stripping, you can have your own hours or whatever, and it was good money. So I would empathize with anyone that's going through that way. There's a lot of reasons why people become sex workers. Like a pimp would really focus on women. Like they would know what kind of woman fit into, like have low self-esteem, that has like money issues, that is like in a bind, that would try it once, you know? Like, so I don't think, and even OnlyFans people, like even if they're doing it because they want to have money, they want to like, or porn stars that like only want to have like a nice car or whatever. Like there's a really sad thing behind wanting a nice car, right? Isn't there? There's a sad thing. It's like, you don't believe you're enough unless you have this nice thing. So, anyways, my thing, I don't really shame anyone who goes through it. I'm not saying you do either. I didn't say you were. I was just saying a lot of people do, and I don't agree with that, basically. Let's see. All my girlfriends were rich. Wow, good for you. Actually, I'm on the other side. A lot of my boyfriends, no, I don't want to say all of them are rich. Are you a gold digger? It seems like if you have a trend where all of your girlfriends are rich, then I don't know. I have to leave soon, boy. I have I have to pick up my daughter in like 10 minutes, but we can chill until then. This has been really fun. You're not a gold digger. Okay, you know what? I'm a gold digger. I mean, I don't really mean to be, but my husband has money. But I would also say that I dated men who were poor, and I didn't mind it. So, and also I don't care about brand name stuff because of what I just said. It does not define me to have this big ass brand that I think is very tacky, like Louis Vuitton or whatever, any of the brands like Coach or whatever. I just feel like, why do you need a word that says where I am in my status as a person? And why do we all have to compare ourselves to like on the hierarchy of status, like chipmunks or something, or monkeys? We could also just be individuals who are different and equal, but again, idealizing things. Let's see. I think these people have lost their way and do stuff like that. You're right. A lot of people have lost their way. I mean, we all lose our way too in some ways. Sometimes when we're really desperate, we will lose our way. And they deal with a lot of perverts. I mean, they can even die. This is like a lot of the profession. Sex work can be very dangerous, and abusive. Yeah, it's tough. It's a tough world for sure. I should be really understanding of them. Oh, good. I figured you were. Just happened. Pure chance. Seriously, I hate hierarchies. So, question. Oh yeah, we have some time. Let's see. If they are wealthy, these women that you date, you must be bringing a lot to the table. I feel. What do you think you bring to the table? Are you wealthy too? If you're wealthy too, then that's what you're bringing to the table. But if you're like not wealthy, then what else are you bringing? All right. And then another question too. My other question was, if you met their parents, did they not approve of you because you were not wealthy? Because I know I also sometimes date men who have money, and their family are so proud. And they're all like, oh, my family's too good for you. You're so lucky to be dating them. Da, 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 da. And it's not just my husband's family, though they do that. But it's also like I don't know. My ex-lover's family sometimes do that. Depends on the lover. Depends on the family, I guess. I think they value the fact that I'm a little crazy in my head, but in a good sense. How are you crazy? You tell me, I need to know. Are they turned on by the schizophrenia? I need to know what is it exactly that they're into. I'm just a very friendly and chill and say my own stuff. I see. You're kind of like me then, right? Because I'm a little crazy, but not... There's good crazy, like you were saying, and then bad crazy, because... Good crazy would be like, oh, I'm just pretending I want to be a stripper. Oh, I'm just going to joke about crazy things. Here, I'll give you for instance. I'm a little crazy too. So then my daughter is working on physical outbursts, meaning that she does hit people. And again, she's like a toddler. So then my husband doesn't protect himself. So I told him that I'm going to pretend I'm our daughter and I'm going to start hitting you, and you have to start blocking right away. You need the reflexes, right? So we're practicing. And then I hit him in the back of his head and he's like, what the fuck? And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I got out of character. That was me. That was all me. And then I was like, all right, I'm back in. He hated it. It was super annoying. But I'm crazy, a little crazy, but I think it's fun crazy. I had a girlfriend since I was 24. Then I was diagnosed with diabetes. No girl will even spit on me. What? You want a girl to spit on you? That's your level of intimacy? Here, I'll spit on you. Enjoy. It's so sad. I can't believe it. You seem so charming. I feel like if I wasn't, yeah. You seem very sweet. I would introduce you to a friend for sure. That's a Greek phrase? I need to know this phrase. I'm gonna use it. Greek. Is it because, do you think you didn't have a girlfriend since you were 24 because of you? You chose not to. You're not looking, or or do you think you're putting yourself out there and you are, and they're just the fishes are not baiting. You're not baiting the fishes good enough. Not offensively. I hope that wasn't offensive. What is this? I do not see this phrase, no girl will even spit on me. Maybe I have to write it in Greek. I don't know. It's not showing up on. Oh, you know what? ChatGPT might know it. I'll ask it. Greek. Look at me. I'm such a chump. I still use Google. No girl will ever say. Greek phrase. What does this mean? Okay, I looked it up. It says this phrase expresses deep rejection and self-deprecation. I like that. Me too. I'm very self-deprecating. Actually, I used to be more unattractive. I grew up poor. My mom was a monk, so she didn't let me do makeup. And then I made a lot of ugly jokes growing up. And then I got hot, and then I made the same jokes and no one laughed. And I was like, oh. But it's fun to be self-deprecating. I think it's very charming that you can wear your shame, but also like laugh at yourself. You know, everyone's an idiot. But are you a lovable idiot, or are you, I'm going to totally use this phrase. No girl will even spit on me. But it's really mean to say, because okay, so now I can't even say that, because if I said no girl will even spit on him, right? So I would be talking about some poor man who can't get it. So I can't even use the phrase. Damn you for teaching me a phrase I can't use. I'm stupid happy, as you say in Greece. I think some women love that as well. I laugh all the time. Oh, that's cute. But, so, I mean, all the questions. It seems like you are very charming, right? And if you're laughing all the time and you're happy, don't women gravitate towards you? And if they do, or is it not a thing in Greece where like a woman will go up to you and talk? Because in America it doesn't happen that often either. Do you just choose not to date because you're so happy that you think dating would just be so hard? You're just adding someone else to the mix, complicate your life for sure. Love is messy. It implies a total lack of romantic or sexual attention, feeling invisible or beneath notice, a strong sense of unworthiness or humiliation. Often used sarcastically or dramatically. They do, but then they learn of my illness and they stop talking to me. I mean, it's really sweet that you try to tell people right up front that you have this illness, but oh no, I have to leave soon. I'm gonna give you 2 more minutes and then I got to go. Damn daughter. What was I saying? I think it's very sweet that you tell people right in front. I think it's incredibly nice and generous to appreciate their time and like not stray them away from what's going on in your life. You're going down a path and they think you're going down a different path because they don't know this information about you. But they also don't know what schizophrenia is. I think it's different. I think so. There's a lot of neurodivergent people in the world. I think it'd be hard for some of them. I was just watching Love on the Spectrum, and one of the women said she doesn't want to tell people that she's on the spectrum right away because they're just going to leave her. Sometimes it's not. And then also, it's not because she wants to bait them, but because a lot of people who aren't neurodivergent or have mental health issues, or they're not educated enough to know what that means. They hear a word that they're scared of, and then they freak out, and then they read about it online, but you don't necessarily have all those symptoms, and then yeah. So it's kind of like the woman. I thought it's a messy thing, no matter what. If you choose to tell them, if you choose not to tell them, there's all gray. I don't think there's a wrong way of going about it. I mean, if you go 5 years without telling someone, then you marry them and have children with them, yeah, I think that's wrong. But other than that, if you wait a little bit, if you wait like months, I hear that. And I think like she was saying, autism is different for everyone. So like, I'm sure your mental health issues are different for you, and they have to get to know you. Not only this con, right, this quote unquote con that you have, but also the beautifulness of you. And it also makes you you, right? If you weren't crazy, you wouldn't be who you are either. So it's like the whole package, but they won't get to know that if you just, I don't know this even, I didn't get to read your stuff. So imagine like you were saying that you didn't tell them the whole time, and that, let me read this, sorry. But I got to go. They do, but then they learn, okay, I would love to date someone, but they don't want to. I also have to go. The stigma is real. Have to do that. But I don't really like that approach. I understand. I mean, it's hard. I don't even live in your shoes, so I can't tell you like what's wrong and right, and you just gotta do you. But it was really good talking to you too. And please follow me. I mean, it's fine if you don't either, whatever. But I'm always on at this time, or I'm thinking I'll always be on. I don't know. I'm new at this, so we'll flex it out, okay? But it was nice talking to you. I'll see you next time. Enjoy your concert. Mwah. Bye. Look, I'm doing my YouTube thing. Bye.